And I don't recall the amounts. Okay, so don't quote me on the exact amounts here, but let's say she said a cow was, I don't know, $500. And then apparently one of these guys contacted her or got in the box and said, "Oh, well, we have enough for one cow, but now we can get another cow. We have an opportunity to get a second cow." And everybody seemed all excited. Pam seemed very excited about that. And then she was trying to raise money to get another cow. And if you know anything about these type of if you know anything about scams and overseas scams, and we've covered some of them when we've watched the Scamfish episodes, right? It's not all just romance scams. There are scams, and this is literally what it's called. It's called a pig butchering scam. So if you don't know what that is, you can look that up. I'm not going to explain the whole thing, but it's basically like they get you to donate a little bit, but then it's always something else comes up, like, oh, here's another opportunity, or if you invest more. It's kind of like they usually do it with investment type of schemes.
Right.
But it seemed like that to me, right? It seemed really odd that they wouldn't just be, very grateful for being able to get the one cow and try to move forward with that. That immediately it was brought up to start raising, like I think they had just finished like raising enough for one, and now they want to start raising again for another one. And so I don't never know what happened with that. Like, I really don't, because
because there's no receipts. I mean, and there's been no videos about, hey, I mean, that one cow video that they show, and then all of a sudden they show prepackaged goat meat from 2023 prior to October 7th. The dates are clearly on the packages. It's fresh meat, and it says June of 2023. So they're clipping pieces together to make it look like this is what we're doing now. Look at all this meat we're giving away. But it was from 2 years ago.
Right. And the cows that they were supposed to be using to, provide food, they said that was supposed to go to the families living in the tents, struggling with starvation in Gaza.
Right.
But the sign said it was for cancer patients. And then when they were giving it out, like, that wasn't like that even seemed shady, because they weren't giving it out in a hospital. They were giving it out at some random apartment building. Like, and we also questioned the signage. Like, how did they, they have nothing, but they came up with this professional sign to put on there with his picture on it and everything. And, and the labels and the packaging and all of that. Like, how would they have the resources to do all of that?
Yeah. And again, how did we realize that this wasn't a hospital? There were a lot of signs. First of all, the elevators that they were going in and out of are not the size of elevators in a hospital, because you have to be able to roll a gurney in and out. And the elevators were normal apartment size, hotel size elevators. If it was a hospital, it definitely was not an antiseptic hospital, because it was not clean. And if they're delivering it to people that have cancer in a hospital, how are they going to cook in a hospital room? I mean,
yeah, and you could see in the background of the one, a couple of the frames, the stairwell behind them. Like, it wasn't an interior stairwell, right? It was like an exterior stairwell, like how some apartment complexes are. In a hospital, there wouldn't be an open stairwell like that leading to the outside.
Yeah. And I do have to play this clip while we're talking about the cow. I think this is yet again.
Ass a scammer, and your ass a scammer. I'm in a box with 3 scamming ass motherfuckers. Gifts to goddamn scam. Your ass got called out by scammy calls for that bullshit with no receipts. Goddamn cows cost $7,000 motherfucking dollars in motherfucking around the motherfucking world. Your ass just mad because you racist.
That was one of the best clips ever. So the whole thing, and if you guys remember the video itself, they show this cow, and then all of a sudden they show packaged meat. That wasn't cow. So, and it had a date on it from 2 years ago. So again, an inconsistency, something that has not been explained, which leads to more questions. Anything else about that whole food thing?
Well, I want to know, okay, this has to do with the food and the water, kind of. It's combined. So if they were raising, and I don't know, because, and maybe somebody who was listening at that time can explain it or let us know. If they were raising money for water trucks and cows, how were people sending money to donate toward that? Were they sending it to the GoFundMe's? Because those GoFundMe's don't specifically mention anything about trying to buy cows or provide water. They specifically talk about helping Abood and Bilal, and there's one for the other friend, Mahmoud. It specifically talks about helping their families, specifically with medications and daily needs and a bunch of other things. So what GoFundMe were people donating to where it was supposed to provide to like the whole encampment of people food and water?
Well,
Because that's not mentioned in any of the GoFundMe's. So how were they collecting that money?
it was TikTok gifts, somebody said. Okay,
Oh.
TikTok gifts, which, according to Snark, she said that these two gentlemen have immediate access to TikTok gifts. I want to know what person has immediate access to TikTok gifts. I've never heard of that. I know for us, there's a payout on Wednesdays. When you have a TikTok account, from what I know from here, and I don't know if it's any different, you need to have a PayPal account, and PayPal, every country is different. Every country is different, huh? I'll look into that.
How would they track that? Like if they said, just for instance, that they need $400 for a water truck. I don't know how much it is, okay? I don't recall hearing, but if they said we need $400 for a water truck and send all your gifts to whoever, this guy, to pay for that, I mean, how do they know what that's equating to? Like, are they calculating it up as it goes? How do they know if they collected 400 or not? How do they know if they only collected 100? How do they know if they collected 500? Like,
this is the other thing, Scam. Again, TickLeap is available. Okay, I've seen it available in both Israel and people that have their country of origin where they are is Palestine. And I've been able to see how much money these get, just like over here in the United States. Why did they opt out? And why can't you see what money they're bringing in? Again,
yeah, I mean, it would be one thing if they showed what their gift payout was, and then they were keeping track every week or every day, or whatever their schedule is. It doesn't even really matter. Like if they were showing their progress as to meeting that goal all along the way, so that they knew how much more they needed. Like we've collected this much, we've whatever we the goal's 400, we've gotten 200 so far, and whatever. Like I don't recall. Ever hearing that being done, like at all, to let anybody know the progress or what was collected.
Right. And listen, if they are able to collect it every day, okay, why are they blocking what they're getting? Why can't we see it on TickLeap? I know as a fact that people have sent money to Snark to her PayPal.
Actually, I thought it was to her Venmo, but yeah.
No, I saw a PayPal receipt. I saw a PayPal receipt. So if she has Venmo also, I mean, I don't know about that. I'm basing it on PayPal. because that's the receipts that I've seen.
Well, I found a Venmo, and the Venmo's open, like with all the transactions. So
she might be using 2 financial apps to collect money. Okay. So again, if they're getting gifts and people are getting gifts, we're going to talk about that down in a little while, because I'm going to talk about sending gifts which turn into money to people that you have not done due diligence on in terms of being legal. Okay, and I'm going to talk about that. No, that's fine, scamming words. And I'm going to talk about that in a little while. So with Bilal, okay, multiple GoFundMes. I want to talk about, and I showed this video before, and I'm telling you, this one pisses me off, and I'll explain it again for those of you that didn't see it, okay? This is a video that he posted on July 16th. Now, notice there's pew pew fire, but nobody's running. Nobody's scared. Nobody's taking cover. They're all kind of watching, which is weird. Okay, because generally, if you're in a war zone and you hear bombs or you hear gunfire, you're going to take cover. Okay? And what did somebody find out? That just like how it is edited, words, scammy words, I'm going to show you. Like I put music on videos. What he did was he put this original sound of that. Now, why? Why? What was the point of that? Okay? The only point of that, again, and this is exactly, and let me say this. This could very well be legitimate, okay? These GoFundMes and the money, but we don't know that because she refuses to give any information out. But again, this is another question. The only reason why you would do this exactly is for manipulation, for emotional manipulation. Oh my God, look at where I live. Look at what I'm dealing with. There's pew-pews all over the place. You know, there's bombs going off. But he put that sound over it. And he was not smart enough to realize there were people that would find that and realize, why aren't people running away? Why are they standing wide out in the open, not even being affected by what they're hearing? So